Hello and welcome to the Artist Behind the Music Holiday Edition. We have Becky Lawrence here with us today, all the way from England. Welcome to the show, Becky.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for being a part of the show. You are celebrating the holidays with your own Christmas release, so we'll get to hear that in a little bit, and
Yeah,
all sorts of other fun stuff. So I'd love to get to know you a little bit more and kind of let us know how you got into music, your journey into bringing music into your life full time, and all that good stuff.
amazing. Gosh, okay, where do we start? Let's
Cool show.
try and do this in a nutshell because I like to talk and I could just waffle on for ages. But basically, my background is actually in dancing, and I did ballroom and Latin when I was like really young.
Cool.
And then through that, I did tap, jazz, ballet, all the other stuff that your parents just kind of like
Right.
send you in the direction of. Yeah. And then through that, my dance teacher set up a drama school and like a singing club. So I got like really into that. So performing had always been a part of my life, but it wasn't until I hit 14 I really started to take it all a bit seriously. So I was getting vocal lessons every week, I was doing dance lessons quite regularly, starting to get into the musical theatre side of things back home on the Isle of Man, which is where I'm from. So musical theatre actually has a huge part of my life. That's where I saw my journey going. That's where I thought
It's the
I'd be, yeah,
best.
Broadway, West End, all of that stuff. And I was a part of quite a huge number of productions on the island, which just put me in such a good place and good stead to sort of where I am now. And then I left the Isle of Man and moved to London, the big lights of London, when I was 22. And I studied musical theatre there for a year at an amazing school in London. And life was great. I got an agent, I was auditioning, I was doing all this fun stuff. And then things just weren't happening for me. And I got told, well, if you lost a bit of weight, or if you changed your hair color, or if you did this, you would be able to be seen for this, this, this. And I was like, that's just not who I am. Like, I started to lose my love for it. And that's when I started to think, this is not what I should be doing anymore. Like, I'm trying to make my living out of this where I'm being told what I should and shouldn't be. So
Yeah.
it was a really big deal for me to actually step away from that because I dedicated my life to it for so long. And I was kind of in denial over it for a while. I was like, have I just wasted my whole time doing this?
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, I then moved down to the southwest of England in Wiltshire, which is where I am now, because I've got family over here. So I kind of felt I could get some roots and start to build a new life here. I was temping, doing lots of like boring admin jobs, but through that, I then got involved with lots of different bands on the scene because singing, out of all of the dancing and acting and stuff, has always been the passion. I was like, I have to sing. No matter what else I'm doing, I have to be singing. So
Yeah.
I got involved in a couple of cover bands, but it was the country band that I got into that really started to like gain my interest more into country. So I'd always listen to a little bit of it. Like my mum always listened to a bit of Dolly Parton or Reba or Billy Ray Cyrus, all those sorts of people. But it wasn't until I got into that I started to listen and expand my knowledge of country music more. And then I started to write my own stuff. And I was like, well, this is just fitting in country music. Like, I can't hear it as anything else.
Yeah.
And here I am in 2020 doing just that and writing country music. So there we go. That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, that's a great journey. And you hit something really hard on the head about the industry saying you need to look a certain way or be a certain way
Mm-hmm.
in order to have success. And that just drives me absolutely crazy because it
Yeah.
strips away all authenticity of a person and creates this
Mm-hmm.
this false reality of who people are and what people should strive to be when you're going to these shows and looking at the people on stage, and if they all are a cookie cutter way of a certain
Mm-hmm.
brand or hair
Yeah.
color or weight size, like that's
Mm-hmm.
not real life. And I think
It's not.
being an entertainer, you need to be so real so that you can connect to people
Definitely.
and inspire people to be the best versions of them. And that's a huge part
Absolutely.
of my work. But I think just that experience you had to be able to step away from that and not feel like you had to give in to the pressures
Yeah.
of the industry is a very admiring experience and
Thank you.
trait about you. So
Oh, thank
good
you.
job. How did
When you do like theatre and stuff, I guess there are set criterias for certain roles, and I appreciate that and I get that. But
yeah.
it was when I was going for something which didn't really have much of a spec, or it was then they were trying to mold me. Whereas I feel in music, especially country music, you really can just be whoever you are. Like, you have a story, you sell it, and people will listen if they want to listen. And that was so refreshing to me. It's like, oh, I can actually just be me. I can just be me.
Which is so awesome. How did you navigate though through those feelings of that
A
come
lot
up
of
when someone
counseling.
tells you it's not good enough? A lot of counseling, yeah.
A lot of counseling.
Which is
Yes, I have. Yeah, being at drama school throws up a lot of different feelings and emotions that I probably never had experienced before. I'd always been quite an anxious person anyway, and I'd worried about everything as a child. So I think that's always been there. But when you go to drama school, you experience some amazing things, but you also get knocked down. You get told, constant feedback about, oh, you should sing it like this, you should do this, and it was really tough. And actually, it had a detrimental effect on my mental health, where I was losing my hair. Which I didn't even know. It was one morning I was brushing my hair and I had a bald patch literally this big on my head. And as a female, I pride my hair. Like, my hair was a part of who I was, and it was really long at the time as well. And I was like, how have I not noticed that? Like, how has this happened?
right.
And basically, through talking to like a nurse and a counselor, they basically said that your stress had nowhere else to go. It was literally just coming out of my head. And it all started to like tie in, because I was experiencing panic attacks, which I'd never experienced before. And I was brushing it aside thinking, oh, it's okay, it's just because I'm in London, or I'm tired, or this. But little did I know, I was in a flat with someone that I didn't really know. I was in she lived there before I moved in, so I was dealing with having to get along with her, like just constant feedback of, I was doing things wrong, living in a city. Like, I came from an island surrounded by water, and now I'm in a city. I'm like, oh. So yeah, I mean, that was really tough, and it has taken many years to a lot of counseling, a lot of CBT. And I think as I've got older as well, like, I'm 30 now, and I feel like I'm at a place where I know who I am, I know my body, like I'm more in tune with myself, and I'm a lot happier with where I am and who I am.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful place to be. And just even talking about that mental health aspect of being anxiety or stress occurring. And then, I do this all the time as well. It's just you brush it off and it's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. It's normal.
Yeah, cool. It's fine.
Good. I'm a fucking stressaholic. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
It starts to have a negative impact on your health and well-being. And one day you wake up and you're like, whoa, how did I not see? So I just think having these conversations are so important to share with people, because
Definitely.
it brings awareness to pay attention to what you're experiencing and what you're feeling, and don't brush off stress like it's nothing. Like, pay attention to it, give it kindness, give it healing. And the more we can do that as a society, then I think the easier it will be in the future to navigate through stress and
definitely
all the crazy things that
I wholeheartely believe that. I'm quite an advocate for like mental health and abolishing the stigma and stuff. Like, it's a normal thing, whether you're a singer, a performer, a nurse, a doctor. Like, everyone has their levels, and it's just about finding the right tools for you to put in your toolkit. So I found through the counseling and the CBT that if I'm having like a bad day or I'm really down, I know what I need to do to pick myself up, so my rebound is better, so I'm not as in that place for as long anymore. And so if you can get to that point, that's great, however you manage to get there.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree with that. Just having tools, because you're gonna have the and like 2020 was a huge example of how was 2020. We were talking before, and you were saying like you had some great moments and some down moments. How did you kind of navigate through this year and move through it?
I don't even know, to be honest. It kind of just, I think I just went with the flow. I think is the best way. And although I haven't been productive in a gig sense, I've been quite productive with getting music out there and pushing music. So it's been odd, because I've kind of felt when all my gigs were taken away from me, I was like, okay, so I still need to do something. I still need to be productive. And what I found was that I actually had more time to write. which can sound really weird being a singer-songwriter, but honestly, sometimes trying to find an hour to just sit down and write something when you're trying to do a part-time job, you're cleaning a house, you're doing food shopping, you're looking after 5 guinea pigs. Like sometimes trying to find an hour was really tough. So now I was like, I have all this time.
Yeah.
So, and then it just snowballed, and I think I've got 6 singles out this year or something like that. I don't know, I lost count. After Christmas, I was like, I'm done.
That's amazing though, to still be able to put out music throughout such challenging and uncertain times, right?
Yeah.
6 singles is a lot. That's a
I feel like it's 6. I'd have to count. I'd have to count. But I feel like, a lot of my friends, they've either been like me and been super productive in getting stuff out, or they just haven't felt like they've been in that place. And either is fine. Like no one's pushing anything. Like we're all going through our own situation throughout lockdown. So don't push it. If you want to, that's cool. If not, don't do it. It's fine.
I agree completely. I really think that this is all a personal journey, even though we're all globally going through so similar and feeling these crazy highs and lows together. But at the end of the day, there's some people that just function better when they're just going. And I'm definitely one of those people. And then there's some people that function better when they, take space and time and slow down and just take a break from work. Because another thing with the music industry this year, I think a lot of musicians are always go, 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 and keeping up with the next thing they want to do.
Yeah.
And so this year was a great time to kind of slow down and do things like, what you said, writing,
definitely,
and whatever it looks like for anybody. I just always like to share with people listening, like it's okay if not the go, go, go style, more of the chill out and breathe style.
Just watch Netflix. I watched a lot of Netflix this year.
What shows are you watching? Do you have any highlights?
Oh my gosh, what have we watched? Like again, I can't even remember. I've literally what did I finish watching? The Queen's Gambit, which was on.
Oh,
that was great.
Now, are you a chess player?
I'm not a chess player.
Have you bought a chessboard since you watched the show?
A part of me was like, do I? And then the rational part of me said, no, don't do it. So I didn't.
We watched that as well, and we're like, we need a chessboard.
No, we need a chessboard. We need to learn this. I can do drafts.
What's that?
Chess, no. I can play drafts, the one which is like the easier version of chess. I cannot play chess. I think my brain would explode.
It's a lot of thinking. For sure, it's a lot of thinking. But they say the power that social media has, or TV shows on the industry of sales is huge, because chessboard sales skyrocketed. Places are selling out of them. It's insane. I don't think people talked about chess for years.
No, and now it's like a big thing. Oh, I did watch Chesapeake Shores, and that was so wholesome and just made me feel so good. It was just it's like Hallmark stuff, so it's all really lovey-dovey and it's all happy ending, and I was like, oh, I love this. That was a good one.
Oh, that's so good. What would you say some of the best advice you've ever received would be?
Oh, so some of the best advice, I've actually got it tattooed on my arm, if you can see it. It's kind of like the wrong way around, but it says run your own race. So there aren't, like, when you say race, like I don't mean like you have to race for that, but keep in your own lane. Like don't, especially in this industry, the need to compare ourselves to everyone else. I mean, it's toxic. It's so toxic. And literally a couple of days ago, I was doing exactly that. I was sat there going, why am I not doing this? Why haven't I got this festival? Why haven't I got this? And it's just, you can't do that. You cannot do that. So I do try. That's why I've had it tattooed, to remind myself that, hey, I'm on my journey. That's different from someone else. It's different from someone else. And that's okay. And you'll get to wherever you need to get to at the time you're supposed to get there. Yeah. So I would say that's like my go-to advice. But then there's an Oprah Winfrey quote, which I really love. I might get this wrong, but it's, you have to do what you have to do before you can do what you want to do. And for me, that so I work part-time just as an administrator, but I constantly sit there and go, ugh, why am I doing this, blah, blah, blah. And then I remind myself, hey, sometimes you have to do these things to get to where you need to be.
Yeah.
Like, so that's paying my bills right now. And I am so thankful to have that job, because a lot of my friends are stuck. They are performing full time and they haven't had that income. Whereas I am quite a rational person, and as much as I love my singing and all that stuff, I've always felt I need to make sure I can pay my bills. So I'm very thankful for that.
Because that takes the stress away too, right? When you're able to
Definitely.
take care of yourself, it's a form of self-care, making sure that
Absolutely.
you're financially
Yes.
taken care of. And then if you look at it like that, then it's no longer a job. It's like, no, I'm just taking care of myself so that I can
Yeah.
do and show up for what I love to do.
I need to do that. I like this.
Yeah.
I've not been thinking of it that way, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it's
gonna
really
do
important because I know a lot of people that are musicians working a side hustle or job,
it.
they have
Mm-hmm.
that same feeling of, oh, I have to go to work and it's not what I
Mm.
love. But just remembering that, you're taking care of you
Self-care.
by doing
Yeah.
that. You're not sacrificing your dream, you're supporting your dream, right?
Exactly, because if I
Especially
didn't
when that's
work, I wouldn't be able to submit my singles. I wouldn't be able to, buy my stuff on my guitar. Like, it's just standard stuff.
exactly.
Yeah, I like that. Self-care.
Exactly. What would you say one of the highlights of your year has been?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Turning 30 was quite a highlight.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. Yeah, so that was interesting, having a big birthday in the middle of a lockdown. That was interesting. But yeah, I think one of my main highlights was, I actually have two. So before lockdown and before everything stopped, I had a guitar and I didn't really pick it up a lot. Like, I could play like a couple of chords and that was it. Anyway, lockdown happened and I was like, look, I have no excuse now. I need to try and teach myself a bit of guitar. And my guitarist, who I love dearly, he's amazing, Dave, actually gifted me an acoustic guitar. And I said, okay, cool, let's go. So literally from March, I've just been self-teaching myself how to play guitar. And I released a single in July called You Say, which I wrote by myself on guitar, which went to #1 in the UK country iTunes chart on release. I was like, okay, that happened. Right. So that for me was like, okay. And it kind of just solidified that, yeah, I am on the right journey for me. I do question whether I should still be doing musical theatre or I should be doing this, doing that. But when stuff like that happens, you're like, oh, that's a sign that I'm on the right path for me.
Talking to me. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I feel like we're on the same wavelength with that. I'm very into like guardian angels and the universe and stuff like that. Yeah, totally. So I was like, yeah, this is good. So that for me was just amazing.
So
yeah,
cool.
I was
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So turning 30 and a #1 song. That's a good year.
Yeah, despite everything. Yeah, it's been pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
Well, I would love to hear you perform if you're ready for that.
Yeah, definitely. Have a sip of water. I'm gonna take my headphone.
Also,
yeah, gotta hydrate. Gotta hydrate. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yeah, good.
Fab. I'll just turn you up. Okay, well, what do you want first? Do you want a Christmas?
Whatever you feel like. It's your call, girl.
I'll do my #1 single.
Yes.
Sometimes I change words around, but it's my own song, so I feel like, oh well.
Cheers.
You say that you need me. You say that you want me. You say that you love me, but I don't even love myself. You say I can trust you, but I don't know if I can trust you. After all that I've been through, I don't even trust myself. All of these questions running round in my mind, all of the answers left to find. Yeah, you say, here, take my hand. Yeah, you say, yeah, you say that you'll be my man. Yeah, you say that you'll be here, that you'll always show up. my mind, full of the answers left behind. Yeah, you say, here, take my hand. Yeah, you say, yeah, you say that you'll be my man. Yeah, you say, yeah, you say, here, take my hand. Yeah, you say, yeah, you say that you'll be my man. Yeah, you say that you got me. You say, baby, what? You'll never be lonely. I'll be right by your side. After all of these years, finally found someone who says that they need me. So maybe I can now move on. Yeah, you say, here, take my hand. Yeah, you say, yeah, you say that you'll be my man. Yeah, you say, yeah, you say, here, take my hand. Yeah, you say, yeah, you say that you'll be my man. Yeah, you say.
Beautiful song.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, what was your inspiration behind that one?
Oh, it was my partner actually. Yeah, he was, because we've been together for 6.5 years now. So it's a long time. Yeah, it was. I got gifted this guitar, so this is the guitar I got gifted.
Nice.
And I was just fiddling around with capos and just, playing a couple of chords. And I had this like refrain just like in my head saying, like, you say you need me, you say that this. And I think because I've always said I'm quite an independent woman, like I would be okay on my own. But there was a point in my life where I just felt I needed that support from someone. And I wanted someone to share my journey with. And it's just a song saying how grateful I am to have him in my life, basically. And he's been an absolute rock for me the past couple of years after, everything I've been through. So yeah, it was kind of just, it's a soppy, poppy country love song for him, really.
Oh, nice, heartwarming string.
Oh, thanks.
And what's your writing process usually like? Do you like writing by yourself better? Do you prefer writing with other people? Do you have a structure that you follow?
It's so sporadic. I mean, this year has just shown me how sporadic it is. Basically, like the beginning of the year, I released a song called Empty Friendships. I had the title before I had anything else, because it came out of another writing session. Actually, I was chatting to Charlotte Young, who's another amazing singer-songwriter in the country scene over here. And I was saying to her, like, as you get older, you start to question a lot of friendships and all this sort of stuff. And I said, like, some of them are just empty friendships. And I was like, whoa, that's a title of a song.
Yeah.
Got some chords down, and that happened. Other times I feel more comfortable writing with someone. So I've been writing with someone called Hugh Webber at Zephyr Hill Music. And we've released 2 singles now together. And I think because I still don't see myself as like a full songwriter, I kind of see myself still as a singer before a songwriter. So I still sometimes just need that someone else just to help me know that, what I'm doing is right and it sounds okay. So I think collaborating sometimes it just gives me that little bit of relief that I don't have to, try and figure this all out on my own.
Takes the pressure off. And all the hit songs have many writers on them. There's some songs that have like 20 writers in their credits. It's insane. So
imagine the royalties on that.
I know.
It's crazy. It's I swear it's different every time. It's completely different. But I think now I've expanded my knowledge on the guitar, it's opened up so many more doors, which is great.
Totally. Oh, that's awesome. And what a beautiful example to see that you just learned guitar this year and you've had this beautiful journey with just trying something new and taking the ownership of learning yourself or using tools around you to learn something. I think that's very inspiring for people to just be like, if you want to do something, just do it, because look, you never know what will happen. Your song could just blow up and you're releasing all sorts of songs, writing songs, playing live, all these crazy cool things.
I don't think I'm ever going to be like Slash, but
you don't have to.
I'm just going to keep plowing and seeing what happens.
I love it. Well, we'd love to hear another song if you want to share your Christmas
absolutely.
song that you have out this year and the story behind writing it. I love
definitely. Whoa. Okay, that was loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So all the way through this year, I'd threatened people with a Christmas song, and I was like, I feel like I might do one. I don't know. And I got chatting to my mum via FaceTime because she's back on the Isle of Man, so that's where she lives. And again, she kind of had like she writes kind of like little snippets of like poetry and things like that. So I get a lot of my creativity from my mum, and my dad's really into music and stuff anyway. I said, look, let's write one together. I said, let's just do it. It's a bit of fun. Everyone needs cheering up. Like we all need something that's just fun, not really serious. Let's just do it. So yeah, we had like a writing session via FaceTime, and we wrote It's Christmas together. So for me, it's super special because we've written it together. And it's been really well received. There's a lot of radio stations that have picked it up and are playing it, and it's just fun. Just a bit of fun.
I love that story. That's beautiful.
Oh, thanks. So yeah, this is called It's Christmas. And the lyrics are really simple. So once you've got the chorus, you can all join in. So I hope you enjoy it.
I would love a sing-along.
Yay, let's do it. Let's have a sing-along with Becky. Alrighty. You remember Christmas, back when you were small, wrapping all those presents, so you got nothing at all. The smell of the fresh pine tree filling up the hall, attending family gatherings and quite the same alone. Can you hear the family laughter drifting through the air? There'll be no more worries that no one really cares. Oh, it's Christmas, you'll never be alone. Oh, it's Christmas, even if you're on your own. There's love out there and there's enough to share. It's Christmas time for everyone. Can you feel the snowflakes killing your nose? They're running back inside by the fire's warm toes. Can you hear the sleigh bells? Santa's on his bed. Reindeer's dancing through the sky. Tomorrow's Christmas Day. Oh, it's Christmas, you'll never be alone. Oh, it's Christmas, even if you're on your own. There's love out there and there's love to share. It's Christmas time for everyone. Okay, now we have a dance break. Yeah. Love it. It's Christmas, you'll never be alone. It's Christmas, even if you're on your own. There's love out there and there's enough to share. It's Christmas time for everyone. This is where I normally get everyone to join in. So if you have learned the words, let's do it. Oh, it's Christmas, you'll never be This was time for everyone.
Oh, it's a beautiful song. I love that. Just the message, like you're never alone, even though you might be on your own.
I think, yeah, that was the main thing for us, is that, you know, so many people this year will feel alone, but there's always someone out there who loves you. They may not be like directly kind of involved with you, or they might not be easy to reach, but you are always loved by someone. And it's just to remember that even at this time of year, how difficult it is, that message still is there. And there is enough love to share. It's all there.
It's all around us, and it starts here. It's beautiful.
Definitely.
That's right. Oh, it's been so nice having you on the show. I love chatting with you about all your stories and hearing you play. It's been a real treat. But I always like to end these conversations with the question, if you had one message to share with the world, what would that be?
Gosh. That's tough. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
Just have fun. Like you have one life that we know of. And just try and live it to the fullest and just be unapologetically yourself.
I like that advice too. That's beautiful and perfect. Well said.
Thank you,
Becky, so much for being on the show. I am so excited to see what else you put out into the world as your musical career continues to evolve into such beautiful things. So thanks so much for being on The Artist Behind the Music, and I can't wait to chat with you again soon.
Thanks. Bye.